Hi, today we are looking at input. Input? What do you mean, Mr. Bag? What's input? Well, let's split the word up. In and put. Not really helping. Let's try turning those two words round the other way round. Put in. Okay, so it's something that puts in something. Okay, that's interesting. So here we have an input. An input puts in information into a digital device. Remember, we found those digital devices last week when we went on a bit of a hunt around the house. Let's have a look at some everyday inputs and let's see if we can spot the ones on this. Now, do feel free to shout out the answers if you're at home. Don't do that if you're in class though. Here we go. Can you spot the everyday inputs? Did you spot it was these dials on the top? That's right, they can be turned round, and when they're turned round, they turn the heat on the hob. And if you turn them round a lot, then they make it hotter. And if you only turn them round a little bit, they make it not quite as hot. Let's see if you can do this next one. The digital radio. Can you spot the everyday inputs? Did you spot it was these? That's right, the two buttons and the dial. Those two buttons there actually change the radio stations and the dial changes the volume. There's one more for you to try before we give you a bit of a challenge. Can you spot the everyday inputs on this digital clock? Did you spot them? It's these buttons down the bottom. And they do things like changing the time, setting the alarm, and they also make the face light up as well. Okay, so here's your challenge at home. Last week you went and found all those digital devices in your home. This week, can you see if you can spot the inputs? Okay, now if it's a device that you're normally allowed to touch and use, you can of course press it and touch it and work with the inputs. If it's something in your home that you've never been allowed to touch, like the heating system, then don't touch any of the dials or buttons or anything else you find on it. Okay. There's lots of different ways that you can report this back. You could take photos of all your inputs on your devices. You could draw out on a piece of paper your own table and fill it in, or you could make a table like this one on your own software or online software that you're using at the moment. So it's totally up to you how you record this information and send it back. Have fun and let's see if you can find those inputs on the digital devices.